Hello, I am Archivist Saren, and welcome to my study. And today, we are back once more to some Rimworld. Now, last time, a lot of things happened, and yet not a lot of things happened as well, which definitely makes sense. We got Ebos back and upgraded. We kind of got him like almost fully upgraded. I mean, there's still a few things we have to do, like bionic legs and stuff such as that. But for the most part, this is all the important stuff. And then we have our other ghoul, who doesn't have nearly as much, but is still pretty powerful. So yeah, good things have happened, and we just upgraded the monolith. I don't know how that's gonna go because I've never gotten this far. But I did wanna point out that I am streaming early today. Which, there's no real rhyme or reason to it. I kind of just, I woke up early today by about an hour, and I was wanting to play some Rimworld because I've been enjoying this run, surprisingly. Even though it's just plain vanilla Rimworld, it's been quite nice. It's been going well. But yeah, I didn't want to wait until later to start playing, so I just started early, you know? I mean, it's not a crime, right? I don't think so. But, yeah, we'll just get into it and just hope that everything goes well. Oh, also, we sold most of our horses last time because it was a toxic fallout and I thought they were all gonna die. But then the toxic fallout only lasted like 5 days, so they didn't really, maybe wouldn't have ended up dying. I think the young ones might have. Because they probably have less protection against, you know, toxicity and all that, because they're smaller. It's usually how these things work. What else do we need? Oh yeah, we got skin hardening. We definitely need that. Because now we have a crafter, which is Spook. And hopefully he doesn't turn against us at some point, though I kind of expect he will. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. What do we want? What am I looking at you for? Right, probably just to check the crafting. So he's almost up to 6. I think we just need more dusters, I guess. Because they're generally the best thing to make just to level up your skill. So we'll do that. Yeah, just do forever. Oh, and I wanted to set him here. All right. So now he will just make dusters for all eternity. Of course, he has to move 2 stacks of cloth into it to make one, because you can only carry up to 75 material, and I think you need 80 material to make a duster. So that's great. But this thing is still going to be running at pretty low speed, which means that he'll be getting the maximum amount of skill out of it, which is great for us, because in order to make all the things we want him to make, he's going to need higher skills by a significant margin. Because yeah, he's able to make hand talons, just barely, but we want him to make bigger things, which means we're going to need a fabrication bench at some point, which is expensive, but I'm sure that'll be fine. Also, it's playing very ominous music for, I was going to say no reason, but, you know, I guess we did just upgrade the monolith at the end of last stream, and it is a gray pall, so in theory, it's not really for no reason. It's for a good reason. Now we're getting our plants replanted after all the toxic fallout killed it all. That's good. We have to make our recreation things before Spook steals all the cloth. So we should probably do that. Although how we're going to do that, I'm not sure. We don't really have enough space in this room. Kind of anywhere. I'm going to need to redesign this room a bit. Because if I move these out of here, Move this stuff off to the side. Then we could fit it all in the middle here. We also might need to move the batteries. Probably be smart. We can't move them out here because they need to be under a roof. We could just set them off in the corner over here, I think. Wait, was that build copy? No, that was reinstall. Okay, I was worried I hit build copy instead of reinstall, which would have been not good. Alright, so by moving that stuff out, we can also get rid of you because we don't have any animals. And then we need a dedicated kitchen. Maybe. I could just move the kitchen stuff into the fridge. It's always an option. That's usually what I do, I think. So let's just do that for now, just to clear up space. Not the light, the thing under the light. There we go. So those two are going to be thrown into here, which will lower their, you know, use speed because they'll be in the cold, but that's fine. I'm also going to need to floor this entire area, which I'll probably do. I don't know, we could do concrete, but I kind of feel like that's a bad idea. Because we are very low on steel pretty much all the time, so we'll just use wood, because it's abundant. I mean, technically we have more steel than wood right now, but you get what I'm saying. Also, is this fueled? No, this is electric. Okay, good. And then we will reinstall this here, along with its chairs. Not the baby. Don't reinstall the baby. And then, what else do we need? We can probably use more chairs around this table. I haven't updated the number of chairs we have on there in a while, so let's probably upgrade that a bit. And then in the middle here, we can move all of these statues away. And that will give us space in the middle to place down some of these. I mean, there's probably fine. And then poker table can just go like here or so. And then we need to put a bunch of chairs around that. I actually think we're going to do it this way. That way just none of the chairs are directly next to anything. And then we probably need a little bit more wood. We'll just chop the wood that's in the horse enclosure. Because these chairs... Oh, good. Ah. Well, that's just great for you. Really, all it does is it reduces beauty, which is fine. It doesn't even increase pain or anything. So that's alright, but we were kind of hoping that that wouldn't happen, because that's only really useful as a melee weapon, and you don't need a melee weapon. So, I don't know what we're gonna do about that. I don't know if you can, like, remove it. I don't think you can, because it literally says left shoulder. I think that is his arm now, so we would need a bionic arm to replace it with. Which, you know, is fine. We'll get that eventually. If only we had a second shard and we could take down this obelisk, but it just is not in the cards for us. Also, I'm gonna make this the sculptures stop, because now that we're leveling up crafting, we can actually make money in numerous more effective ways than just spamming out sculptures. I do wonder what upgrading the monolith is really going to do for us. I mean, I think it said that you get more knowledge from like studying it. Take care of 4 goats for a neuroformer. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a relatively easy quest. We would just throw the goats into this enclosure, and they'd probably be fine. Pretty low maintenance, all in all. They're not even like paralytic aphasia or anything. Then we get the neuroformer, which won't actually add any value. The only issue is I've been avoiding psychic things because that'll make people have to then, you know, meditate. And that can suck up a lot of time. But, I mean, we'll go for it, I guess. It's, as I said, pretty much free. Can you get them all into the... Get them all into the cage, because if they wander away, we're kind of responsible for that. And that's a problem. But yeah, now they have the very big, you know, kennel here without really having to share it with anyone, because there's just one horse in there. This should be fine. How are my favorite ghouls doing? Seemingly alright. Interesting. Okay. Let's just speed up more, because there's not a whole lot going on. But the power still seems to be doing fine. Is this room more impressive now? It's about the same impressiveness. But they should get good recreation boosts from having those in there now. And we have enough chairs to actually seat everyone, which is good. How's your crafting doing? Could be better. It's almost at 7. We could do some hunting. Is there any wildlife on the map now? Kinda? I mean, mega sloths can give good leather. There's one now. So here's the plan. We're gonna get our charge rifle buddies out here. And we're gonna shoot this mega sloth and have our ghouls be tanks just in case the mega sloth gets all upsetty spaghetti at us. Alright, well that was easy enough. Next aminal. Go down here. You guys go down there with them. And we're gonna shoot this rhino that barely survived the toxic buildup earlier. Is the dementia from... Yeah, I think the dementia was from all the toxic buildup it had earlier. So that's great. Alright, perfect. That's another big thing of leather, methinks. What else is there? There's another mega sloth. I don't know where. That's a boomalope. Other mega sloth down here. Might as well go kill it. Because there's seemingly not really any downside to it. I mean, it's not like the mega sloth up there posed us any threat. And then we'll get the leather, and then we'll be able to make, like, I don't know, 1 duster out of it. You don't really get that much leather out of a single animal, even a big one like this. Yeah, not really a threat. Alright, Mr. Tentacle Arm Man is going to be bringing that back. And you guys, I want you guys closer to the base. You can't just stay all the way down here, because what if, like, a threat appears up here? We'll need you to respond quickly. Man, we just have so much meat. A bit too much meat, if you ask me. I think that... I think we've gone past the point of just having enough meat to be able to support our ghouls, and we've gotten to the point of having so much meat that it's just inflating our wealth, which takes a lot of meat. Like, you have to realize just how much meat it takes to inflate wealth, because meat does not cost very much. We might need to make one of these in here. And that way, when an orbital trader comes through, we might be able to sell some meat. Because it's getting a little bit ridiculous. Because, yeah, I guess the ghouls just aren't eating as much as I thought they would be. Which makes sense now, because we have the implants for it. But even so, like before, I thought they would be eating a lot more. And they just weren't. That is perfect. That is exactly what we needed. We were just saying that we wanted Bulk Goods Trader to sell all of our schmeat to. Who are we supposed to be trading with? Oh, the slow one, of course. So go trade away, like, I don't know, 2,000 meat. And then we'll put that silver to good use doing something else. Do you have anything I want to buy, though? Definitely components. Maybe advanced components. And do you have any plasteel? You have regular steel. I might need more regular steel. Do you have any slaves? No. I was hoping they might be selling somebody who's good at mining. Because that's the last position we need to fill in pretty much the entire colony. Alright, well... horse meat. Let's try to get rid of the most, like, individual stacks of meat. Like, we have 75 rat meat. When we killed that many rats, I have no idea, but... yeah, we need the twisted meat for things. We're gonna hold on to that. Yeah, tortoise meat can get out of there. Warg meat. Probably rhinoceros meat. And then... yeah, the bison meat we had... I was gonna say we had man-hunting bison, but I think it's because we hunted the bison to test out our ghouls. That's what we did with that. So that wasn't really the bison's fault. That was all me. Alright, but that looks like everything. And then we not only get all of the supplies that we bought from them for free, but we also get to take some of their money as well. Which is pretty nice. Now we just need to haul everything, which will probably take a little bit. But that's fine. They'll be working on it, just in the background. We never renamed the baby. Ah, you can only change the name until 1 day after birth. Yeah, I think I just took the name at face value. I just took the little thing that popped up. I was just like, okay, it's born. I knew that would happen, and I just got rid of it. We can just name you after the last baby, I think. Although I think this is a male baby. So... I don't have as many male names that I can think of. I don't know. Male names are difficult for me. We'll just leave it as baby, I guess. Maybe we'll name it after somebody in chat if they want later, but until then it's just gonna be baby. Because yeah, male names, I don't have a lot of them just on hand that I can use. I have probably like, I don't know, 7 or 8 female names that I have as like go-to names for things, but since I almost never make male characters in basically any game ever, I never really established a good, you know, collection of male names. It do be like that sometimes. But it's fine. They don't really need a name until they're, you know, not a baby anymore, because, you know, after they've become not a baby, then, you know, it'll probably be weird to just be called baby, but until then, it's accurate. So we're still studying this. What are we even researching? Just random stuff for the most part. None of it is strictly very useful. Man, but this is definitely like more people than I usually have. To be fair, we only have 5 usable colonists. 1 is a baby and 2 are just for combat. But even so, this is a lot more people than I usually have sitting at the top of my screen at any given time. Departure. You're not allowed to do that. We basically just need everybody out here. We're gonna gang up on the guy if we can catch him before he leaves the map. I wish that it would have brought more attention to that so I could have paused it sooner, but it was just a tiny little pop-up for something that is a bit cataclysmic for us. And then we need prisoner bed. Guess we can just... Actually, we can just turn these into prisoner. Why is he so fast? Why is he so fast? Come on. I know why my ghouls aren't that fast, but this guy shouldn't be freaking running at Olympic speeds. Oh my gosh. Well, this run's over. We lost our only crafter. That was basically the one hope we had in this entire game. Why did he just leave? Why did he just leave? I swear, if I ever see that guy again, I am beating him 9/10 of the way to death and then reviving him and holding him captive. We're turning him into a slave and we're keeping him forever. Why did he leave? Okay, well, we can't freaking do anything now. We're oh my gosh, we're back to square zero. Square absolute freaking zero. I thought there was a light at the end of the tunnel, that we finally had a crafter, but no, we still have nothing. We have freaking useless people who can't do anything. We have Art Man, we have freaking Plant Lady, and we have freaking Constructosaurus and nothing else. We can't do anything. And he left, I mean, we gave him our worst gun, but he still left with one of our guns. Took our clothes, our guns, we put a lot of resources into trying to train up his crafting, and then he just leaves? Like, seriously, where did he go? Why did he leave? I mean, especially because we imprisoned him first, and then brought him into the colony. I kind of thought that would have made it so he was more stuck here. They're just back to zero progress. Back to nothingness. I mean, look, everyone's just waiting around, twiddling their thumbs because there's nothing to do. Because we can't make any progress. The only thing we can do is freaking void provocation for fun. That's basically the only... Oh, of course, the stump is in the way. Clear that as well, please. Just provoke the void for fun. Why is nobody participating? You go in because you're our worst fighter. This is basically all we can do. Other than this, we're just all gonna be sitting around completely idle until the game decides to grace us with some kind of event. It hasn't even thrown a raid at us. Like a literal, just legitimate raid in like a year. When was the last actual raid? Manhunter pack, Manhunter pack, Manhunter pack. So yeah, all three of those were Manhunters. We had a Shambler Assault, Devourer Assault, Mass Animal Insanity. What was the one behind it? Enemy Raid. Okay, the last enemy raid, that looks to be about 50 days ago. So quite literally, almost an in-game year since we had the last raid. Like, what is that about? Why is it not sending me any usable pawns? I want more ghoul fodder, I want people who can craft, and the game's giving me nothing. It just gives me anomaly things, which is weird, because anomaly, even when the monolith is active, is only supposed to be like 30% of all events. It's not supposed to be 100% minus animal attacks. Oh, the sphere. Huh. I know of the sphere. I don't quite know how you're supposed to handle it. I know that if you can get it like fully figured out, then you can send it against your enemies. And it can be like a guard dog for you, I think. It hurts to be near it. Interesting. Alright, well, it doesn't really require any significant... I mean, it said 0 was its minimum containment, so... We're just gonna make, I guess, a square and put it in here, and this is just gonna be our temporary... I want it away from the base because it said it hurts to be near it, so... Putting this up somewhere that it can't really be affecting people would probably be smart. Where is holding platform? Do I even need a platform? If it has 0 requirement, can I just put it in a spot? I think so. So, if we just like... We just like capture this. Because, yeah. Oh, Morgan's pregnant again. Good. Maybe one of these babies will be a crafter. Because, oh my gosh, why does the game hate us so much when it comes to crafting and pawns? Alright. So, yeah, I mean, escape interval is never. It just kind of is. Let's just keep it suppressed to about 20. And yeah, that's holding it just fine. The walls aren't even built yet. It's just kind of docile, so... You know, build the walls around it in your own time, but it seems to be fine. I wanted to pause it while she was in the radius. There we go. So when you're in the radius, minor pain. Okay, yeah, so it does have a pain field. Oh, that actually builds up the closer you are to it? Oh. Oh, because we're lowering the activity level of it, and so we're also lowering its pain field. That's pretty interesting. But yeah, we'll just keep that suppressed, and we get free research out of it. You know, when I was summoning something with the ritual spot, I was kind of hoping for some kind of fight, but what the heck is a shard beacon? Can we have like a description on that? What is that? Shard focused by the bioferrite shapes nearby dark psionic flows. When placed near a psychic ritual spot, it improves the ritual quality. Alright, well, we need to save up our shards. We haven't even been getting good shards. You know, even though we have been getting anomaly-based events, just not any raids, it still hasn't been giving us any shards. Because then if we got shards, we could have gotten rid of the obelisk, and then this guy wouldn't have gotten all mutated. But, of course, it's not giving us that either. We're just kind of dying of boredom. Which is it was an issue in one of my earlier colonies as well, where the game just doesn't throw enough events at you. And you just kind of end up having nothing to do for extended periods of time. Which, I don't know, maybe, are we on Randy random? Is that why that's happening? Because I know he can fall asleep sometimes. But I don't know, okay, we are on Randy random, so maybe that's the issue. Maybe he's just fallen asleep. But I think the last time where I also had the issue was on Cassandra. Because it was kind of the same problem, where it was throwing events at me like consistently, but all of the events were just not interesting events. They were all just Manhunter packs and every so often like a Shambler raid. But that was it. And so I never got any new pawns, I never got any new anything. It was just constant nothingness. Same with here. Even though, you know, we provoked the void, we just get a sphere that sits docile in a cage outside. It doesn't really do anything for us. That is bad. That is not good. Ghoul. Alright, I guess we need both ghouls to help with this. Fire, yeah, I would assume so. I guess everyone needs to come out and help with this. Usually the ghouls are enough to just take out the fires on their own. But a flash storm being centered on your base, honestly, I think this is the first flash storm I've ever had centered directly on my base. And not like ever, but like in the last 20 flash storms I've faced. It's very rare that it actually affects you badly. Usually it's just like, oh no, there's a flash storm halfway across the map. Whatever will you do? And then you can just ignore it because it doesn't affect you in the slightest. So it is kind of weird that a flash storm actually was accurate and landed directly on top of my base. Good thing that this is the one run where I have like 50 people ready to, you know, to handle fires. But why the heck did that other guy leave? You know, we're not taking any more creep joiners. They are so inconsistent. One of them tries to attack you. One of them can be a metal horror. That guy just left after getting our hopes up for actually having a future in this world. And it's like, I don't know. Why do we even let creep joiners in when they literally just disappoint you at every turn? I mean, look at this guy. He's good at defense, and he can talk to people. And that's about it. I mean, sure, he's gotten us better prices on, you know, trading and everything, but aside from that, bro literally has done nothing for us. He has no marketable skills. So I I don't see the point of this creep joiner thing. I really wish we could get rid of this obelisk. Because already it's made it so we need to make a bionic lung and a bionic arm for this guy. Like, how many more? Actually, 2 bionic arms. I mean, the scar isn't, you know, the obelisk's fault, but, you know, we need to replace his right arm to get rid of the scar, and we need to replace his left arm to get rid of the frickin' flesh whip. So we need a lot of bionics. And you know how you get bionics? Crafting. You know what I can't do? Crafting. Huh. You know what else we can't do? Mining. We're still stuck with like 2 of the most integral skills in the game being completely outside of our reach. We can just botch harvests over and over. Like, come on, Morg, you have been gathering rice since the dawn of time at this point. How can you still be botching rice gathering? Like, I don't know. How do you even botch rice gathering? Do you drop it back? Like, you know, you pull the rice out of the water? Did you just accidentally drop the rice back in the water? I don't know. I don't even know how rice is growable in soil like this. Does rice grow in soil? Like some types of rice? I don't know. All I know is that usually rice is grown in like very shallow water. It's like a semi-aquatic plant kind of thing. But I'm no rice expert. Maybe some variants of rice can grow just directly in soil. But either way, how do you mess up gathering rice after 10 years of picking rice? I have no idea. You know, I bet Ebos could probably pick rice better than Morg could. He looks to be a capable lad, even though he's a ghoul. But, you know, we don't judge people based on them being ghouls or not. Alright, so we're still getting bioferrite. I don't know what we'll spend that on imminently, because both our ghouls are already outfitted. We need more shards to make more ghouls, and you know what else we would need to make more ghouls? Is more people. But that's like the one thing the game just refuses to give us. You know, we could try to do more quests out here, I guess. Like, we could go attack this work site, although I don't really know. Okay, it is an independent group, and apparently it has bird skin. That's nice. We could go and ghoul that place and see if we can't recruit someone from there. Because honestly, we're in dire straits at this point. Like, the only 2 options we have is take matters into our own hands and attack somewhere like this, or wait for a baby to grow up, which even at 4 times speed is going to be, it's going to be a long process. And I don't want to wait that long, so I suppose the plan is we're gonna go attack that place. So Piotr, I hope you're ready for slaughter. That should be your new name. Not Piotr, but Slaughter. We'll just send Ebos, the horse, for carrying all that leather, and then you to be the ghoul's handler. We'll keep Andra at home as defense, and that'll be good. Oh, and Ebos' wealth went up. Finally. I was wondering when they would do that. Because, yeah, earlier it was saying he was only, like, worth 22%. Oh, no, he's still... It still says that he's only worth 24% of a character. It's just all the bionics I put on him increases value significantly. So that makes sense, I guess. you know, you should also bring enough medicine to hopefully patch people up. Although you don't actually have any medical skill. I mean, I think that's like our second highest medical skill, but it's still pretty much nothing. Let's see, we learn more about the inner workings of the Nochiosphere. Single purpose to inflict pain on those around it. Honestly, I sympathize. Thinks we may be able to weaponize the sphere. You must study it more first. Of course. You know, we could also go for like Mechanator stuff. I don't know if that would be worthwhile. Skin hardening. That is going to be useful when we have a crafter. Healing factors are nice, because, well, no. I mean, healing enhancer would help to some degree. I wouldn't actually heal the ghouls very much faster, because this wouldn't scale off their unnatural healing. But, you know, it might still be nice. And I was thinking coagulator, but that wouldn't affect ghouls at all, because ghouls don't bleed. So, yeah, just continue with the artificial metabolism, I guess. Then they're gonna get over to here, and we're gonna see what this is about. How many people are here? 3 people. Okay. It shouldn't be too bad for our ghoul. Although it's kind of hard to tell. We haven't, like, ever since we got these upgrades on the ghouls, we haven't actually had a chance to test them out against humans. Because, as I said, it's been about a year since they sent any human raids at us. Man, it takes a sweet time to generate an encounter there, but that's fine. Interesting. Why do they just have like a big cube here and then the actual base down here? What is that flooring? Oh my gosh. Looks like tire tracks. They just drove back and forth over this whole area a ton to flatten it out before putting down their buildings, I guess. But I don't see any of the people. How do you hold your gun effectively? Oh, there's all 3 of those people. Okay. They have auto pistols and grenades. It's a good thing those aren't Molotovs, because, as we know, Molotovs kind of counter ghouls in their entirety. Oh, you know, that's something we should get next, is fire immunity from impids. That would actually be amazing. But yeah, so they're not even in their like main base. They're just in this little cube out here. I don't know why. List lobotomy, that's nice. Let's, I guess, get dead life dust. I don't know if we're ever gonna use that, but it sounds fancy. So how are we going to interact with these guys? Okay, Grenade Man is all the way down on the other side. So let's move you up to some cover here. While the ghoul, you know, taking some of the... Okay, don't be shooting at him. There's a ghoul right here. You take out him. You get his attention. Thank you. Not too worried. Okay, I know the pig guys' names are always a bit weird. But, first of all, Fats, and this guy's name is Weelorg. Like, what kind of name is that? Alright, but yeah, you're fine for the most part on damage. I don't think that was difficult at all. I was just worried that this guy was going to get shot and then we'd have to use our medicine on it. So let's see, you're nimble, which is decent for a ghoul, I guess. You know, you can dodge. These are both bad for a ghoul. And you don't have any passion for melee, which sucks. And I don't think we need anything from the pigs, actually. I mean, strong immunity wouldn't affect ghouls, but that might be nice for a regular colonist. Robust digestion might be good. Actually, that would be really good. if they were eating, if they were turned into a ghoul and they were eating raw meat, then they would be getting significantly more nutrition out of the raw food because they can only ever eat raw food. So that would be nice. And immune to food poisoning is meh. So we could take one of these guys prisoner and just keep sucking out their genes until we get robust digestion. That is certainly an option. And they also have poor cooking, which would be free metabolic stuff for them if we ended up getting that. The question is just if it would be worth it to try to save one of these guys just for that. Because they're both very dead. I mean, 3 hours, 2 hours, 0 hours. It doesn't seem very feasible to be able to save them without any actual medical experience here. Oh my goodness. These guys have just been... They have been killing many birds. That is a lot of birds. I mean, I guess if they had over 300 bird skin at this camp, that kind of indicate... No, don't fire at the door. Go inside it. You're not allowed to go inside the door? Do I really have to claim it just to let you go inside? Alright, there's just one meal there. Nothing there. One meal there. These guys have a weird base setup, I gotta say. We can get rid of the solar generator. Do you have any construction skill? Nope. Alright. Not assigned to construct. Well, you're the only person here. Why would it matter if you're assigned to constructing when you can just... Who else is going to do it? Are we going to bring somebody else over from the main base just to deconstruct this one thing? I don't think so. So, you're just going to have to suck it up and do it. Okay. I guess we can let you eat. And then... Yeah, we need to now unassign you from constructing because I don't want you actually doing that on the regular. I still find it really weird that you're not able to prioritize people to do things that they're not assigned to. Like, you'd think you could. I mean, if I need something done and I assign somebody to do it, I kind of just expect them to do it. Not to be like, well, actually, that isn't in my contract. It's like, bro, this is a survival situation. You don't have a contract. Your contract is you do what I tell you to, and don't complain. But they always like to argue about these things, I guess. Yeah, take all their food, take all the skin, and just head home. We need more ghouls. But it's all just a matter of waiting. We just need to sit back and just relax for a bit, I guess, while the game just kind of goes, because eventually it'll send us the things that we need. It might just take a few in-game years to get there. I was so excited about having a crafter too, like, and within the first freaking 10 minutes of the stream, the guy's just like, nah man, I'm out of here. Like, what the heck is that about? Oh good, no, these guys are sick. We can give them the good medicine because, we kind of need them to be fine. Because they're part of a quest. They're not just regular animals. Inspired trade. Oh, good. Can you trade for a crafter? Is that something you can do? How'd you guys run out of food? Are you talking about ghoul food or regular food? You should have plenty of yeah, you have tons of regular food. I guess it is just ghoul food that it's talking about. But that's fine. I mean, Ebos, he doesn't eat much. He's good for like another 2 days. You know, we should get rid of this because the guy doesn't exist anymore, so having a duster sitting there that is his doesn't really make any sense. Alright, get back in here, Ebos. We're really far away, okay. We'll just leave it going. I'm sure they'll find stuff to do. I just wish we had more jobs that people could do, you know? Because a lot of the people just kind of end up completely idle for most of the day. There's just not a lot to be done. Most of the things we could have them doing would just inflate our wealth way higher than it needs to be. Because, like, in order for plant person to have constant duties, that would either include constantly cooking or constantly going around, like, chopping trees. Or I would need to like, fill up this entire area with planting. And we don't need that much planting. We don't even need this much planting. Even this is, like, over the top. I mean, look how much medicine we're keeping in there. And all the rice. I mean, this is after having an entire 5 days of fallout that killed all our plants. We still have almost 1,500 rice. So really, we are already planting too much, and she's just going bored 90% of the time. Ah, an encampment. 4 pigskins this time. Void sculpture, what does that do? Psychic ritual spot. Interesting. I mean, if it enhances quality of stuff, then that would be good. But I mean, this also gives us gold. I do like gold. All enemies and turrets. I mean, if we send both of our ghouls there, we could probably take out 4 pigskins pretty readily. Maybe Ebos alone would be able to do it. Depends on what weapons the enemies have. But yeah, sure. I mean, we'll do that. Where is the camp? Oh, it's a ways away. I wish it would summon those closer to us. You know, it's probably fine. We just need to head out and kill that. Why does it still look like you have stuff? You don't have any stuff. Right? I mean, you're not supposed to have stuff. Is it just because you haven't moved? Yeah, it was just because you haven't moved. So we could send this guy out again with Ebos. I'm just a little nervous that 4 pigskins is going to be too much. 3 seem to be good, but I'm also nervous that if I send both the ghouls, then we're going to have no base defense. Now, to be fair, we haven't gotten an attack at the base in an eternity, but at the same time, that doesn't mean that it won't happen the second we leave. So we don't really want to leave ourselves defenseless. I'm sure Ebos can do it. We gotta trust in the Ebos. Now, we are bringing some meat, but not much. Of course, Ebos, once again, doesn't eat very often, and we can eat when we're there. So, should be fine. And we don't need to bring any other items. So just send them out. Why are you hitching them up over there? Is there a caravan hitching spot? Yeah, I thought that wasn't a mod. Yeah, just hitch them always right outside the storage, because why wouldn't you? I mean, there's no real reason to hitch them up anywhere else, but, I mean, you know. That's just me, I guess. What else do we need? I don't know, this gives us power claws, which seems to be better, even. Goes down movement slightly. Is that... Because this doesn't. Yeah. So I guess it's an extra DPS and more... Yeah, significantly more armor penetration for just slowing down our movement slightly, which would be a perfectly fine trade-off later on. Because once we get the bionic legs, we should have plenty of time to... You know, plenty of leeway on movement speed debuffs. But we'll see. I'm mostly used to how fast you can get with modded bionics. I don't quite know how big of an effect it has using, you know, base game bionics and just how quick you can get with those. Because I mean, I think they're 125% efficiency each leg. So that's overall... Or is it 150% each leg? I don't remember. I can probably check. Yeah, 125%. So that's not that great, because then that would mean that one leg would increase your speed by like, I don't know, 12%, and then the other leg would improve it by the remaining percentages until you're up to a max of 125% movement speed, which would definitely be offset by the plating and the spikes and the everything of that sort. But that's fine. Let's see, bulk goods. You happen to sell a crafter. You do not seem to. Yeah, we can sell everything, like all the leather we have that isn't up to the amount that would be needed for a duster, because when we do get a crafter, we're going to make dusters again to try to train them up. I just wish we were fast enough to have stopped him. I mean, it's kind of, I did mobilize the entire, like, colony to try to go after him, but it was too late because he's just too speedy. Alright, I mean, we can't really get much of anything out of there. We can just sell some random stuff. Alright, these guys are probably going to take overnight to get there. But that's fine. Yeah, there they go. We should really make them a bedroll. We could probably make them a birdskin bedroll. Just like make one of those there, then we'll uninstall it. So that his next journey can actually, you know, go well. It is sad that you can't send ghouls out on their own. If you could, then your caravan would never need to stop, because they don't have to sleep or deal with mood or anything. So it would just be a straight shot through. You just bring enough meat and they're fine. Where could you go? They're down here, of course. Still waiting for that other shard. I feel like we have been for a very long time. Alright, you're just about there. Alright then. I keep hearing a bunch of noises in the background, like moving. I think it's just the neighbors, and or I'm kind of worried that it's the cat downstairs messing with things, but probably just the neighbors. So yeah, they all have low range weapons so far. If we can find a good position. What is that you have on your back? Smoke pop pack? That's not bad. I think the guy went in here. It was one of the revolver guys. But there's no cover anywhere near the base. I guess over here is the best we'll get. But that's kind of... Well, I would be in range of attack. Where are you going in such a hurry? You're like a giga jogger or something? I mean, how are you moving so fast? Maybe that's just regular move speed and all the other ones are just walking. So what will be the plan of attack here? Because we could just run in and... I mean, I guess we're just running in and attacking him because... I mean, he's already shooting. Yeah, you shoot this guy down. Hebos has got this one. Can you hit things, please? My man, you are just not hitting anything for the life of you. It's right there. He doesn't even have good cover. He's behind a fence. Oh, of course, you break that. How good of cover are these? 55%. Those might actually be better cover than... So how much did you get hit? Not a ton. Okay, you're trying to leave. Right, just destroy the door, please. You need to go heal your... heal... Oh, self-tend is disabled. Who else is gonna do it? Seriously, why do you always do this? Just tend to yourself. You are alone in the world. You are literally 10 miles from your base, and you're just like, oh, the doctor will get it. They won't get it. Tend to yourself. Be self-sufficient for once in your life. You see, this is why I usually just play these things with only having one pawn. Because then that one pawn will actually just do everything they're supposed to do. And be multifaceted instead of relying on everybody else to take care of them. Because then you get stuck with these guys that don't know how to heal and aren't set to self-tend because of course they shouldn't be. But then they're alone in the world and they're still just like, nah man, I'll wait for the doctor to patch me up. Like, they're not going to. What do you mean? Alright, well, you attended it about as badly as anyone could have expected you to. But that's fine. At least you're not bleeding out now. That's a plus. You can take all your guns. Nothing else is really that important. Actually, his cages sell for a decent amount, but way too heavy. So, take all their food. Because why not? Oh, there is some just raw meat that we can take back, which will be nice for our ghoul. Alright, get out of there. What do we even get out of that? I forget. Oh yeah, we got our sculpture. That's nice. Why is that red? Is that supposed to be red? I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it wants to be right, like, outside the range of that. Because if it's inside that, I think then it'll block where people are supposed to stand, and then you can't do the rituals. So what does it take for this? 20 bioferrite? Becoming younger. How much younger? Like a few days younger? I don't know. But that could be useful. It's not like we got biosculptors that we can use for that. We do have plenty of bioferrite. Now, the issue would be that this requires, I think, it requires a victim. And we don't have victims, unless we could choose... Let me actually see here. Can we? No, you can't put the ghouls in there. I was thinking ghouls are pretty much already immune to aging, so... If you threw a ghoul into there, could you just infinitely get, you know, time out of them? But no. How are your genes? Still 7 days? Okay. I wish your genes would recover a bit faster, you know? Every failed gene extraction attempt is another, like, 2 in-game weeks. It's like a whole quadrum that you're just not able to do anything with that. But that's fine. We'll get it eventually. I mean, we have nothing but time right now. We could also use getting some armor, but of course armor would require a crafter, so that's not gonna happen. I mean, at the very least we have the baby. Oh, speaking of the baby, we are gonna have another one at some point soon, so we'll need a second crib, because, you know, pregnant and all that. I don't think you're getting up to 3 years old before then. And we just need to hope that we don't get another cube that'll kill this baby as well, because that was a big setback. That was just pretty bad. Yeah, I don't like this obelisk being here. Should we just, like, delete the serum lab and get the shard back from that and then go do that? Because I seriously don't know when it's going to give me another event. Like, we haven't gotten one significant event since the start of this stream. The Manhunter pack over here was last time, I'm pretty sure. So... why is everything making so much noise right now? You know, the last week, the neighbors have been surprisingly thumpy, and I don't understand why. They're not normally that thumpy. Yeah, apparently we can intentionally activate the sphere now. Barrage of pain on anyone nearby. Until it is destroyed and it chooses to return. That sounds a bit dangerous. Hey, caravan's back. Because, yeah, what if we, like, send the sphere and then it doesn't, you know, because, yeah, it says it'll hunt down any creature, including allies and other entities, so that's kind of an issue, you know? If there aren't enough enemies to actually warrant sending the sphere, then it might just turn around and attack us after, and that's a bit of a bad thing. So let's not do that. Of course, you're still a bit injured. That's fine. I'm sure you'll recover at some juncture. We could go up here and open up these things. It's a bit of a toss-up, but you can get armor out of these, and we could possibly get more colonists, maybe a crafter. Maybe ghoul fodder, you know? So that's always an option. It's just a bit dangerous because those guys can have some good guns. And there can be quite a few of them, so... you don't really want to take it too lightly. Yeah, this thing needs to be suppressed as well. I got a lot of pemmican from one of those places. Surprising. It's like we went there specifically to get the... Oh, we have goat milk. Interesting. I actually didn't consider that goats could be milked. Any of you, like... No, it looks like they're all female goats. That's unfortunate. I was gonna say, maybe if they had some breeding done during the time that they're here, they might be able to have baby goats that then we could keep, and then send these ones back for the quest, and keep the other goats for the milk, but sadly, no. Plus, I think milk is an animal product and not meat, and thus I don't think the ghouls would eat it anyway. So that's probably not a solution. Though in theory, they'd probably get a lot of the same nutrition. I mean, milk has protein, it has calcium, usually. What other similarities would it have with meat? I mean, it just has a lot of animal type nutrition. I mean, it's pretty much all the intake that a baby needs, and babies are made of meat. So, I mean, technically, especially as they grow a lot more meat. So if a baby can turn milk into meat, then milk must have the same nutrient, composition as meat to some degree. So that's my logic on it. So I vote that ghouls should be able to drink milk. So do any of these actually help me? Consume the psychic sensitivity of a target. That sounds dangerous. But 60 bioferrite for this? I was gonna say, we could do this and try to just hope to get a good pawn, but seeing as how, like, only 1 in 10 pawns are actually at all decent, this probably would have a very low chance of success, and that's a very high price to buy in for a very low chance of success. So, I mean, technically it has a slightly higher chance of success, because in theory, if it was like almost any xenotype, it would be useful. Pretty much the only non-useful xenotypes would probably be like, I don't know, probably high mate, baseliner, maybe wasters wouldn't be that useful. But if it's impid, hussar, even pigskin or Neanderthal would be a big one. Any of those, it would be pretty useful. And then there's also the consideration that it could be a good crafter. Thus, I'd want to recruit them, or they could just be good at combat and maybe tough, and then I could turn them into a ghoul. So, there are a few ways that could actually be effective, but I don't really trust that it's going to be any of that. And so by spending 60 bioferrite on, a toss-up, essentially, seems like a bad idea. Is this permanent? You can just, like, suck the skills out of enemies? Because that would be kind of cool. Just... Oh, but that takes a shard to do that. Yeah, no, we can't do that. Draw shamblers, that doesn't really help. I mean, shamblers are so last week. Herd of animals in a location. May attract Scaria infected, and it takes bioferrite. Yeah, probably not worthwhile. Really, the only one of these that I can see being super worthwhile is Void Provocation. That can, you know, make it so you're not bored anymore. You can actually, like, get something to happen. Or possibly this to age down your colonists. Because this seems to be the cheapest way to do that. Otherwise, you would need a biosculptor and to sit in it for, like, a long time. I think it's like a couple weeks per year of aging down, and then you're, you know, a couple weeks older and age down a year. It's not a great conversion given how short the years are. So yeah, I'm not sure how many years this takes off, but probably a good amount. So we could do Void Provocation again, I guess. Though I'm kind of worried that if we keep just provoking a meteorite. Yeah, that doesn't help us at all, Randy Random. That is... Oh, and of course the power is out now. Good. Very good. By very good, I mean very bad. Hey, the eclipse is gone. Good. Because I didn't want my freezer turning into a not freezer. Because that would be exactly bad for us. Oh yeah, we need to uninstall that. I don't know, is it just that Randy's asleep? Is that all that's happening here? Because I mean, I know he does that sometimes. I just feel like there should still be something happening. I mean, a granite meteorite is all we've gotten in the last while. You know, normally I wouldn't at all be upset about not getting raided. Like that seems like a good thing on the surface, but it's just that we have no path forward without being raided. We don't have any crafter, and we need a crafter to make any kind of progress. I mean, we could go back to making sculptures and then just hope that traders come by that want to buy the sculptures and sell us more charge rifles in return. That's about it. A raid! Finally! Who are you people? Baseliner, they're all baseliners. What faction is this? Oh, it's just the Engi tribe. So none of these are gonna have any good genes to pull out of them, but you're tough. Tough could mean good ghoul, possibly. Night Owl, Tortured Artist. Oh, do we have any crafters? You're a crafter. You're definitely a crafter. Not a crafter. You're a crafter. Great memory crafter, although misogynist might end up causing many issues around the base. You're a crafter. Tortured Artist crafter could be good with great memory. Hi, Ebos. You missed a few things. But yeah, things are going well. Yeah, I think like 3 people out of this group could be a crafter for us. We might enslave them. Although I don't know if slaves can do crafting. But yeah, it's a good number of people. I hope to get this one alive to turn into a ghoul. And I think out of these, we would probably like this one the best. I mean, they're young, great memory, tortured artists, so they get lots of inspirations for their crafting. Aside from them, maybe you. Slowpoke isn't that great underground. I mean, you're inside a lot when you're undergrounder, so that's nice. But alright, enough looking at the people before, you know, we can't be counting our eggs before they hatch, you know. Because there is a possibility all of these people just frickin' die. So, have our ghouls in approximate position. Ebos is indeed back, and we do have a baby. Yeah, we're actually, where's Morg? She's here. Morg is pregnant again, so we're gonna have a second baby. That's why I have a second crib built over here. And yeah, we resurrected Ebos, and we made you kind of a god amongst ghouls, because we gave you ghoul plating for increased damage reduction coming in, the ghoul barbs to increase your damage going out. We bought a nuclear stomach from a trader and implanted that in you, so you basically never get hungry. And we gave you 2 hand talons, which increase your damage output significantly. Additionally, we made you a xenogene thing, so you have these drug dependencies that don't actually affect you because you're a ghoul, but they increase your metabolic efficiency, so your hunger rate is even lower. Do I look like Kratos? If Kratos was a corpse with a bunch of spikes coming out of them, then yes. But I don't think that's an accurate description, so probably not. Alright, but everyone get in position. How many of these guys are ranged? None. They're actually all melee. That's gonna make life a little easier for us, because we can shoot them down as they're coming in, and then our ghouls can just wipe them out. Okay, I mean, you're super immune, but you're not a crafter, so we don't... Are you a miner? We also need mining. I haven't been checking for mining. This dang new mouse. Okay, constructing. Not mining. Melee, not mining. You kind of are good at mining. Yeah, so you would actually fix all our problems if we got you. Because then you'd be... You know, the only issue is psychopath. You can't really make good relationships with anyone as a psychopath, but that would be fine. So if you don't die, I would gladly, you know, take you as a new recruit. We shall see. Ghouls, assault. Alright, she is very dead, sadly. Let's see, but you survived. Okay, you were our second choice, so Paya, you need to... Or not strip. We can't capture. None of us got injured in that, so we can just turn this into a prison area. So yeah, capture this loser. Okay, and you survived as well. Were either of you good for anything? Not really. You were a misogynist, so you were going to cause a lot of issues around the base. Oh yeah, and you were tough, so you were going to be turned into a ghoul. So somebody else capture this loser. Unwaveringly loyal? You think that matters in the face of ghouldom? It does not. We don't need your loyalty. We simply need your undeath. So you see, the first raid it sends us in literally over, or maybe not over a year, but around an in-game year, and all of a sudden we get a bunch of progress. The game just needs to realize that sending me people is a good thing. So we can turn you into a ghoul pretty easily, because, I mean, it's going to take our last shard, but, you know, that's fine. We definitely need to tend to you. You lost your leg. But that's fine, you know, walk it off. It'll be okay. See, no longer incapable of walking. You can walk it off. You'll be fine. Okay, how long until you die? 5 hours? You think we could just operate on you? Do the good old save them from dying by turning them into a ghoul? You know, we can just tell them that turning them into a ghoul is the only way to save their life, and then maybe they'll be on board. You know, I think that'll be great. Yeah, third ghoul is going to be pretty great for us, because that's... Yeah. But it does just drop the clothing without tainting it. That's pretty nice. Yeah, now we have Dorna, which is basically only good as a ghoul because they're tough. That's about it. But we could designate power to this, and then go over here and get a ghoul barbs and a ghoul plating going. And we can implant all that on you. And we need this to be powered so we can, you know, assemble a gene pack for her. But that'll be great. 3 ghouls. I do kind of wish we'd gotten you, though. Oh yeah, but you, we need to recruit you. No, we need to convert you and then recruit you. Of course, now we don't have a hospital. I really should have thought this through. We need to make like a dedicated prison, because just throwing all our prisoners in the hospital all of a sudden means that we can't use the hospital because there's a prisoner in there. So I need like a dedicated prison room for that, which I'll make at some point, I'm sure. Probably. Okay, designate power on that. Just so we don't use up a ton of power here, we can recombinate another double dependency thing here. We could get super fast wound healing going, but that wouldn't actually help a ghoul that much, so nah. Well, actually, load template, no. Because we already made... Okay, I guess it's just ghoul 1 again. I mean, it's the same xenotype that Ebos has right now. And yeah, there has been a lot of dumb stuff that has happened. Like earlier, we did have a crafter just a minute ago, but near the beginning of this stream, he basically just decided, nah, I'm out of here. And he just walked off the map. I tried to stop him, but the game didn't really give me very much warning about it. And so by the time I started chasing after him, he was already like out to here. And that is very close to the edge of the map. So yeah, it was unfortunate. Alright, we actually have someone on Warden, right? Yeah, okay. Void, why are you wearing that mask? I guess we're not gonna ask any questions. If he wants the mask, he can wear the mask. Just seems a little odd. Oh, we also found a Nokia sphere, which you probably have no idea what that is, as I kind of also have no idea what it is. But it's a new entity, and it's a sphere. And it also doesn't take any holding strength, so I just put it in a wood box. So that's pretty good. And yeah, we were stalling for a little bit there, but we have made a few major leaps. You know, last stream we had a few major leaps, and then this stream there was basically just this attack that happened. That was all the benefit we got out of that. But you know, that's probably enough. Let's see. Exotic goods trader, huh? We still have a lot of money. Sterilizing stomach is not necessary. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna get more of these, because we don't have any of those, and we can afford them. And that will lower our value significantly, so the next attack won't be very difficult at all, I don't think. You can have all the package survival meals. We don't really need it. We never go anywhere too far away. Like a store where they still sell Nokia phones? Yeah, that's definitely it. So you're too sharp. We can't get anything past you. But yeah, it's a sphere that causes pain in people, evidently. And we researched it enough already that we can send it. And I guess that just, like, if there's an attack we can't face on our own, we just send the sphere out and it'll go and cause pain on our attackers. Which, in theory, sounds great. What do you do to apply all the tech prints? Oh, we got even more study complete on it. What does that say? Let's see. Once the Nochiosphere starts to become unstable, you can dispose of it by sending it to attack a hostile threat. For a short period, the Nochiosphere will hunt anything down nearby, friend or foe. Once its onslaught is complete, it will permanently depart. If it becomes fully unstable, it will no longer respond to suppression. Oh. So basically, if we want to get rid of the sphere, we would need to wait until it's like 90% unsuppressed, and then send it to attack a raid, and then it will just leave instead of coming back. But if we keep it mostly suppressed and we send it to attack a raid, it'll attack them and then come back after a while. So that makes a lot of sense. But I don't think we want to get rid of it. I mean, it's pretty much just not only free research, but also, I mean, it's kind of a defensive measure. If anything too difficult attacks us, we can just send that at it as a final resort. And a bulk goods trade. You know, this is just like Randy Random to do this. Bro literally leaves us floundering for days on end, and then all of a sudden he's just like, how about a trader and a trader and a raid and a trader all at once? Like, why? You literally, all you gave us in like the last 20 days was a granite meteorite, and then all of a sudden in the last day or two is just 50 different things that happen. Not that I'm complaining too much, but you know. Just dang it, Randy. We need to get you a new leg. At least it wasn't the arm. You can't really craft without an arm. You can definitely craft without a leg. Life is random. 'Tis true. Yeah. Hey, the Xenogerm has completed. Good. Implant this on Dorna. That's their name. Oh yeah, we need to let you have medicine. But of course, we don't have any medical bed to put you in. We need to get a different prison. We can make a new prison. Where should we make our prison? We can make it out this direction. We're going to be getting rid of the animal pen at some point. Probably. Or expanding it. One or the other. Do we have any granite? Sandstone. We do have granite, just not a lot. I guess we could make it out of slate. That's this another very durable block. So if we were to make a prison, how would we make that? Also, we still need to replace a lot of our interior walls with marble. I've just been putting that off for a long time. Alright, we can just make it like... I don't know, 6 by 6? That's 6 there. So a 6 by 6 interior with strong door. And then maybe we can segment this further internally. Oh, but 6 by 6 doesn't work for that. So if we go like here, and then get rid of these, and then an interior wall there, we could have 2 rooms with strong doors on them. And then we won't need you there. We can just put one there to save on space, I guess. Actually, that doesn't really help us save on space at all, and it just makes it look weird. So we'll just make it like that. That'll be fine. And then we have our prison that's close enough to the medicine that we're able to do things with it. That should be good. And we have plenty of slate, because that's the chunks that are around here. How much longer are you guys here? 4 days. Okay. How goes things on this? Not great. He still very much believes in his religion. But we must convert him first. And we will. And then we'll also need beds in here. Probably single beds, because I doubt we're having more than one prisoner in each room. At least on purpose. And we can have them be comfortable, you know, high quality prison areas, maybe even a table, if we would be so generous. You know, I should probably move how these are set up. So if we're putting a table, then we should put these things all over on that side. And then we would put a table here. And then we put a dining chair by the table. There we go. The brig indeed, yes. But a fancy brig, you know? Our prisoners will probably be decently happy. I mean, look at all this. They get a full bedroom with a table to eat at and everything. It's gonna be so very fancy. Honestly, this is probably a better living situation than most of my colonists get. Because, yeah, the colonists, they get a dresser. Like, one communal dresser for all 6 of the beds here. These guys get their own dresser and an end table. You're not supposed to be eating at that table. That's the prisoner's table. Come on, get with the program. It says prison cell awful. Oh, good. It actually automatically moved him out of there, so we now have a healing room again. Perfect. No, don't. There. Psychic suppression. No. We implanted the xenogerm into them. So now their hunger rate also is pretty low. Not as low as Ebos's, but, you know, decently lowered. Andra, how's the genes doing? Still another day? Alright. That's probably fine. We could also floor this area. I just don't know what I would floor it with. We got a big thing of cloth. We could make this place fancier than anywhere else by, like, we need to research carpeting and then implant a bunch of carpets in there. Make it nice and fancy for them. That's the plan. But we're gonna make the exterior area probably muscle parasite on 3 people. I mean, at least we have infinite medicine, but that's gonna take a long time to clear because those don't go away very quickly. Come on, game. Yeah, need 300% tending for that. Was this guy one of them? It was. Interesting. Well, I mean, this is probably going to be fully tended by the time he gets out of prison, so it doesn't really affect him much. But it sucks that Void is being affected by it. Because we kind of need him to be effective. And we're also going to reduce his wardening a little bit. We want Piotr to be doing the wardening if possible. Yeah, let's see. Floors. We just make slate flooring out here. Yeah, you see, that was a 10% increase of progress, as opposed to Void, who only did, like, I don't know, 4 or 5%. Yeah, don't worry, Leopard. We're researching carpets to improve your prison quality here. It's our highest priority to make our prisoners as happy as possible. Specifically when they're potentially going to be our crafter. And I don't know, maybe later we'll be able to use these prisons to harvest some people's organs. That'll be fun. Wow. You're in a coma for a while after that. Yeah, see, Void only did 5% certainty. That's a quick build. It was indeed. I mean, it's a pretty small area, and we have like 2 builders, I think. Two or 3. We have Morg. We have Void. Yeah, so Morg and Void together built pretty quickly. And then we have multiple other people that can, you know, supply all the materials to the place. Alright. Certainty's going down. How much? 17 resistance. Yeah, that'll take a while. Okay, we got another mech thing. It could get us another tech print. Ooh, and unstable power cells would be nice. But Inferno turrets, defoliator. Oh, there actually isn't any... Interesting. There isn't any actual mechanoids with this, it's just a bunch of turrets. Which might be easy to deal with. Maybe. Do we already finish with our ghoul implants? No, because no one's assigned to crafting anymore. Because our crafter decided to just up and leave. Go make plating and stuff. Because maybe if we have 3 fully outfitted ghouls, we'd be able to handle all those turrets pretty readily. Because usually turrets don't like when you're, you know, in melee range. But the thing I'm worried about is the Inferno turrets, because ghouls do not like fire. Alright, he's up to level 5 crafting. That's what we were trying to get him to before, so we could make the hand claw things. Yeah, this obelisk is going to be around for a while, sadly. Because we used our last shard to make Dorna, so... Oh, a gold mining worksite. That'd be pretty nice. Make some more hand talons for our ghouls. You're still not done with the plating yet? Taking your sweet time with that. There we go. Then he's gonna have to go and suppress, and then he's gonna try to make the second plating, and then he needs to make the hand talons now that he's able to. Because, yeah, 5 is the minimum skill for that. And he just got there. No, this is the monolith. The obelisk is over here, and this thing is much more annoying because it kind of... They'll handle that, I'm sure. But it can, like, mutate people randomly. So it either mutates a random animal on the map, turning them into a flesh beast, or it, as it's done with this guy twice, can give you, like, weird fleshy body parts, like a flesh whip instead of an arm, and a flesh mass lung instead of a normal lung. So they have their benefits, but they're not strictly beneficial. The monolith here is partly good. It basically is our way of interacting with the Anomaly DLC, because why aren't you making... Not assigned to smithing. Alright, Mr. You know, technicality. But, yeah, so we can not only study the monolith once every 2 days, which... Oh, shuttle. Nice, okay. Somebody carry the goats to the shuttle. So yeah, we used to get basic research out of it, but ever since we upgraded the monolith, it now gives advanced research. So that's pretty nice. But it also, eventually, once the... You know, once we get to the later parts of the DLC, I'm pretty sure... Send. Good. Right. The freaking event there used up all the power in our batteries. That's why we ended up running out of power this night. That's annoying. But the power's back. And yeah, Anomaly is... I think it's one of the most recent DLCs. And... So yeah, we have all the DLCs still, but that's all base game content. Essentially, you know, it's unmodded, at least. And when it comes to the Neuroformer, I don't know, maybe Morg should take it? Why are you not eating? Oh, you're eating currently. Okay, that makes sense. Because, I don't know, I feel like Morg has a lot of time to sit around and meditate. And she's not the worst fighter. Or we could put it on this guy. He's usually the one we send out to do missions, and if he had the Psylink, then he'd be able to go out and do those missions even better. If he had like Berserk Pulse and Pain Block and stuff like that. Those would be pretty helpful. So yeah, we'll have you... You hauled it instead of using it. Why did you not use it? There we go. Alright. Oh, and he gets Word of Trust right off the bat. Oh. Actually, that's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty niche, but pretty good. We're gonna just in general set your Psi Focus need to like 0, so you don't spend a ton of time meditating. But because you start out with enough Psi Focus to do this, we could just slam this guy with this. Did it work? Yeah, that worked. That took out like over half of his resistance. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, anyway. So the first DLC, I think, was Ideologies, which is where we got this. And so then you can set up your ideology and everything with it. And then the first or second DLC was then also Royalty, which sets up the side casts and royal titles and honor and all that stuff. And then I think the next one after that was biotech, possibly. And then that added being able to have babies and mechanoids and other things. I think I don't remember everything it added. It added a lot of things. Babies and mechanoids being like two of the biggest things it added. And then finally you have anomaly that added all the anomaly stuff like ghouls, monolith, obelisks, shamblers, devourers, gore hulks, all that stuff. And then most recently we had Odyssey, of course, which added grav ships and a ton of different landforms and other things. I don't remember everything it added. But yeah, lots of DLCs. We're gonna make our prison purple because I like the color purple. And I'm sure our prisoners will also like it. Alright, how goes the hand talons? We still need a lot of them. Alright. So does this... Yeah, this quest lasts a bit longer. Because I kind of want to get those hand talons on both of our guys and then grab this for the tech print. Because that would be pretty nice. Yeah, we also need to get the ritual thing figured out. We need pews for that, though. How do we get pews? Okay. Oh yeah, we have conversion rituals. I forgot about that. That's probably fine. We need pews. I don't know why we need pews, but it said that for the thingamawhat's it needs pews. So we'll see if 2 is enough to increase the quality of it significantly. We don't really have that many people around, so I would assume 2 pews would be more than enough. Morg, where are you going with the baby? Why are you putting the baby in the... Oh, because the baby has muscle parasites. Right. It's just weird putting a tiny little baby into a adult-sized hospital bed. Yeah, I guess we're not going to question it. Alright, and honestly, you keep getting the best tending out of anyone. So your muscle parasites are probably going to be gone first. It's a little unfair. Yeah, look how fancy these rooms look now. We got them all carpeted. It says they're still mediocre, but they're just being picky. I mean, sure, it's a little cramped, but, I mean, come on. Oh, good. Conversion. Alright, so then we can set you to recruit. 250 gold. Yeah, I have 250 gold, 1,000 plus steel, almost 400 plasteel, over 100 components. So yeah, we got all sorts of good stuff. The main issue is that the gold is mainly used in making advanced components, which requires a crafter to make. So we've just kind of been saving those up for the day that someday we'll have a crafter and they can make use of them. Which is hopefully what Leopard will do, because that's why we captured him, so he can be our crafter. Plasteel, is that like steel? Kinda? I think it's kind of like it's like a sci-fi steel alloy, you know, where in this far future we found some other way to make steel that just makes it much stronger than normal. Let me actually look at it. Yeah, its description is pretty vague, but it says that it's a advanced spacer tech structural material and that it is extremely strong due to its unique molecular structure. So I don't know, maybe it's very strong because of maybe it's somewhat plasticky, you know? Maybe that's what in plasteel means. Like it's an alloy between plastic and steel, which would be pretty good. I mean, steel with some plasticity would probably be real strong. Alright, I think they can clear the blight faster than it can spread. Probably. No, don't give up and go home. You have more blight to cut. Okay, blight has been eradicated. That's a bit of a fire. Okay, we're just gonna hope that it rains in like the next couple minutes, or else that fire is gonna get to our base. And it's coming from the side where our base is wood. So, that is exactly not what you want to see. We can also send our ghouls on it. Ghouls, put out the fires. Where the heck was Ebos? Why were you, like, way up at the top of the map? I don't know. Yeah, this is a clear benefit of having ghouls. Is that you can just send them to fight fires for you and they won't complain. Come on, these fires won't fight themselves. Don't stand in the fire. Stand next to the fire. Alright, good. We got the fire under control. Without any issue and no mental breaks. Of course, there's still more fire over here, but I don't think we care about that. Alright, how are those hand talons coming? Still not great. They're very slow. But once this next one is done, then Dorna will be ready to have all of her implants put in. Then she'll be almost as strong as Ebos, but not quite. Alright, Dorna. We're gonna put in hand talon on the left, hand talon on the right, ghoul plating, and ghoul barbs. Might need to expand this out. Oh, another exotic goods trader. Before you go to bed, let's see what these guys have. Oh, we don't have much money. Ooh, but they're selling another nuclear stomach. We're definitely gonna grab that. You can arm wrestle. That is true. I mean, I'm betting that's something that ghouls would enjoy doing. We can find more horses, but we need money. Alright, but with the nuclear stomach, that's yet another operation we can throw on you. There we go. And then... yeah, see, there's a horse right here. Go tame that. Yeah, we get horses pretty often. They're not that hard to find. But yeah, I'm hoping to get 5 ghouls by, you know, whenever. Just, that's the optimal number, I feel like. And we're well on our way. Alright, it's one hand talon. Visitors, probably not important. Yeah, that resistance is very low. Low mood? How can you be in low mood? Oh, your friend died. Yeah. Slept in the cold. Yeah, I could probably, you know, heat the prison, but that just sounds like a lot of work. Alright, specialized limbs done. We could get plate armor, I guess. I don't know. Alright. Now they are almost as strong as Ebos. They have most of the... actually, I think they're exactly as strong as Ebos, because they're both tough. They both have the you know, the xenotype put into them, so it reduces their hunger. Oh, but Dorna doesn't have good melee yet, which they will eventually. You know, that's something they'll learn over time. But Ebos has the Giga Chad amounts of melee skill, so... okay, you should be almost over this. Yeah, one more good tend and that'll be done. You are still a ways away. And the baby was the last one. Still a good ways away, yeah. Unfortunate. But our ghoul army will black out or blot out the sun. None shall be able to, you know, oppose us. That's the word I'm thinking of. So let's look about getting this extended. Because if we could extend that out to there, then we'd have a lot more space. Because I didn't really expect that I would have all of this in here. Or, actually, yeah, there are quite a few things in here that aren't even supposed to be in the workshop. Like, these things and this thing, I think, are all not really supposed to be in there. So, in theory, if we just built further down this way... we could actually make all of this be the new lab, although that's a bit big for a lab. Maybe. Probably down to there is fine. And then we would just need to put like a door into there and into there. And then whammo, we have a new lab. Eventually, once they make that. That'll give us room in here. We also need a good room to actually put all the teaching supplies in. I don't know, we could probably put it like in here for the time being. There we go. Okay, good. We got leopard. That is perfect. What are you good at exactly? I know you. Okay, you're also good at Man, you're good at a lot of things. Okay. Oh, and that's why you're so slow. Is because you're slowpoke, and you're missing a leg. That would probably do it. So, yeah, your priorities will be you'll construct, and then you'll grow and plant, and you will craft. Well, you still need to finish this one. So Piotr, finish the hand talon, and then leopard will take over after that. A mad hare is. Oh, hi. Okay. Andro is already taking care of it. Interesting. Good. Thank you. But we finally got the crafter. And I swear, if you try to leave, we're going to hunt you down and kill you. Nobody leaves anymore. Where's Evos? He's inside. Okay, that's fine. Thought he was wandering off somewhere again. Oh, do we have enough beds for this guy? Yeah. We got a bed for him. That's good. Because he can't just stay in the prison anymore. That would not be good. Even though it's a very fancy prison, you know, I can't see why you wouldn't want to be in there, but... Oh, we're not able to move this, or this. We can move this. This one we can't move. Luckily we can move this. Okay. Yeah, I guess these will have to stay in their place for a bit, because I don't want to have to rebuild them. Just kind of a waste of resources. But that also means that we can't put down the fabrication bench, because I was hoping to put it like here. Okay, fine. I guess we'll have to delete these and build copies of them. Tis unfortunate. Okay, why has nobody gotten rid of this berry bush? Like, they're completely avoiding finishing building the walls just because there's a berry bush in the way. That seems a little ridiculous. Okay. Now that you're done with that, you are off crafting for good. By for good, I mean until Leopard betrays us and you're back to being our main crafter. Which will be a sad day. You know, first order of business might be to make you bionic legs. Because you kind of need to be able to move around faster. What is your move speed? Oh. Orgs in labor. You already have the baby? You already had the baby. Where's the baby go? Did you already have the baby? Oh no, you just went from pregnancy to labor. So you're deciding to walk over here and eat food while in labor. Oh, now you're just gonna read a book. I didn't know labor was so nonchalant. You're just like, ah yes, let me sit back and read a book for a bit while I just push out a baby. You know, I've done it twice before, I'll do it again. It's easy. Like, oh, and now you're just wandering. You're just going for a bit of a stroll. Maybe you should, you know, it went from intense to mild. Usually the intensity would go up over time, you would think, but I guess not. We'll be sure to name this one. Okay. Because we can only name it for the first day, and I forgot to. Oh, apparently your name is Nicholas. Nicholas? There's always an H in Nicholas. Is that how it's usually spelled? Because usually, you know, when you shorten it, it's N-I-C-K as like Nick. not N-I-C-H. You don't have anyone going around just like, oh yes, I'm Nich. But, you know. I mean, if that's what he wants his name to be, I'm not going to say no. So, you know, why not? His title is Newborn. Great. Oh, and of course it's set their title to be the last name, which is weird still. We can change this at any time, though, I think, so we'll just make it your first name. Because I'm not good at making names for male characters, so unless you have a idea of what we should name them, Ebos, they're just gonna be Nicholas for the moment. It's a better name than just Baby. We still need to name you eventually. Alright, we got these all set up now in our makeshift laboratory. We gotta get rid of these, and then we gotta craft. Oh yeah, we got 2 more of the hand talons, so we can install those on you. You know, it is weird that we put the ghoul under anesthetic. Your D&D character is named Nicholas? Oh! Well, that's convenient. That is a bit of an odd coincidence there. But yeah, hand talons are now on all of our ghouls. Do we still have that quest that we could get? No. It expired. 'Tis sad. But we'll be ready for the next thing that comes up because we have hand talons on everyone. So our ghouls are now a force to be reckoned. And 2 of them barely ever need to eat because of the nuclear stomachs. And let's expand home area. Then up here, we would be able to make fabrication bench. Probably just right in the middle of the room. Because that makes sense. Okay, now this guy's making the dusters, which is probably good. I mean, it's training up his crafting skill, but he doesn't really need it trained up because he's already good at crafting. So, what can we make out of here? Ah yes, this is where we make all our bionics, and also where we make our advanced components, and our regular components, and our recon armor, and our charge rifles. We literally make everything we've ever been needing right here. Oh gosh, 8 components for a stone skin gland? What the heck? Alright. I mean, it's 10 plasteel per advanced component, so that's 80 plasteel, 160 steel. What's 8 times 3? My brain is not working today. Like 24 gold and 8 components to make the number of advanced components we need just to make the stone skin gland. That's expensive. It's very, very expensive. But this is probably the single biggest upgrade we could get for the ghouls. Because once we implant this, that'll be good. We also need bionic legs for them. So we need, but we probably need 1 first for Leopard because he is too slow. Before you start that, we're just gonna suspend that. Thank you very much. On here, we're gonna be doing make advanced component until we overall have 8. But hopefully that goes well. It's good to have a crafter. You know, once we have someone that can do mining, we have all this gold right here. Plus, I forget where it was. Somewhere around here. I'm pretty sure we have compacted plasteel, don't we? Maybe that was on a different map. Let's see. Search, because yeah, if we search for plasteel, it'll tell us. Nope, we only have the plasteel in our storage. Sad. We do have gold. And we can buy plasteel pretty much at any base. So things are finally looking up for us. What are you doing out in the middle of nowhere? Get back to base. That's the issue with the ghouls not needing to eat very often, is that they end up just wandering off because they only come back to base to eat. So yeah, we'll make all the advanced components up to 8, and then we'll make the nuclear stomach. And then we'll make all the components back up to 8. And then we'll make the stone skin glands. And we'll put one of those in Ebos first, because they're very nice. Because, yeah, essentially what they do, if I can see them, yeah. So it'll give you 70% sharp armor and 30% blunt armor, which is pretty huge. And if you wanted to read the whole thing over here with the armor calculations, it's a little complicated, as you can see by the big wall of text here, but essentially it gives you a random chance that when an attack hits you, if the attack is weak enough, it will either go from sharp damage to blunt damage and thus not be as big of a wound, or it'll go from blunt damage to no damage and just be completely negated. I think it can go from sharp to no damage as well, but you get what I'm saying. It negates damage pretty successfully. So if you had that, then that would mean that not only does incoming damage get, you know, lowered because of your toughness and plating, but also there's a chance that you'll just negate half of the attacks that hit you. That'll be pretty solid. It will make you slower though, and you're already pretty slow. But that's where the bionic legs come in. We'll get to that eventually. Oh, another distress signal, you say? How close is that? Oh, really close. They're literally just right down the road from us. So, how far in the day is it? We might be able to make it out to there. Because here's the plan. We take Piotr, and then we just send him with all the ghouls, and he clears the place out. Oh, and we got the stallion. Okay, we can take the stallion too. Because yeah, it shouldn't take very long with all 3 ghouls to just wipe the place out. And it doesn't take that long to get there, because it's literally like 3 tiles away. So hopefully we can get there by nightfall, and clear the place out overnight, and then come back, and we won't be gone all that long at all. And none of the ghouls have to eat very much, because they're all pretty efficient at this point. Get in there. Don't you dare go to sleep before getting there, because you don't have to. Yeah, definitely we got quite a bit of progress in a very short amount of time, comparatively. Which is pretty good for us. Because that, you know, I mean, we've earned it. because we've been working at this for a good bit. Oh, there's still turrets over there that are trying to fight stuff. Interesting. Oh, because it's right next to the generator, so it's still active. Well, that's convenient. They blew up the turret and ended up killing all of their own guys. Why was that? Wait a minute. What? Animals aren't supposed to be able to go through doors. But I'm pretty sure, like, a freaking cougar was just able to walk up here and open this granite door and walk in and close it behind them. I don't know how that works exactly. But, maybe I don't want to know? I don't know. Alright, so you can, like, stand here and defend. Alright, you're gonna keep attacking into here. Ebos is gonna go and attack that. Where are all the enemies at? There's one here, one up here that's already dying. And there should be a pit gate that opens at some point. So you can go and finish that off. Ebos is gonna go open that. And there's a tough spike over there. Aha, there's the other goop. Yeah, these things are durable. Hey, a shard. Okay. An anti-grain warhead. Honestly, I don't think I even want to take that. Ooh, but it's worth a lot. Maybe I do. Because those things, if a pawn goes on, like, a tantrum because they have low mood, they can literally just go out and attack an anti-grain warhead being held in storage. And if they do that, you can imagine it will blow up half of your base, including your entire storage. So, usually it's not something you want to just be keeping around. Alright, Ebos. Kill the tough spike. You got this. There we go. Place is now clear. We got a freaking BDSM body strap over here. Oh, we got another one. Apparently the people who owned this place were a little odd, but that's fine. We're not here to judge them. Yeah, go and... What? Why would it have even options? There's no second option here. So why is it that right-clicking on it doesn't automatically mean, hey, attack the thing, when that's literally your only option? But alright. Well, easy game. Piotr didn't even need to do anything. He just kind of escorted the ghouls in here. Alright, check out what's in this room first. In case there's another flesh sack or something. Nope, just barrels. Alright, so we can reform caravan and head home. And we're just going to take all their loot with us. Anti-grain warhead, the shard, the components. Might as well take all the steel, because why not? Take all their weapons. Not all their clothes, because the clothes are, for the most part, tainted, and we don't need that. We will take all their BDSM gear, though, because we can sell that. And probably don't need any of the other things, because that's just way too heavy. We can take all their food. Alright. Send. Alright, they're resting for now, but that's fine. We should... The ghouls should be fed well enough for the night. I just hope they get back here before some kind of like raid or something happens. Oh yeah, this is probably sucking up a lot more power now. So, not insert person. We can designate power to these. Oh, and this is on again. That is also an issue. This, we aren't doing anything there just yet. We can turn that off. Anything else? I don't think anything else is really taking much power. It's all just these. So there we go. Now we should get more power coming in, hopefully. Yeah, we had to send all the ghouls out to do that mission. Which, you know, it went pretty swimmingly, but definitely is a bit scary not having any of them at home for defense. But it was like a hop, skip, and a jump away. It only takes them a minute to get there and back. Didn't really think it was gonna be that big of a problem, and really it wasn't. Why are you sleeping there, my man? Go home. Like, you literally have a bed here. And you can... Apparently Void is coming out here. Why is Void going out there? Just you take the stallion home. You three go and idle around the base. Oh, a sight stealer. Where exactly? Oh, right here. You know, you picked the wrong house, fool. Like, why would you appear right next to 3 fully armed ghouls? That was the dumbest thing you've ever done, sight stealer. Oh boy, more sight stealers are gonna be around. That's probably fine. Just spread out the ghouls. Make sure they're the first things that the sight stealers can interact with. Where are you going? Okay, you're grabbing that. That's fine. Take Ebos with you. Shouldn't have people wandering out alone with sight stealers lurking. But with the ghouls spread out outside the base, the chance that the sight stealers will attack them instead of any of our colonists is pretty high. That's what we want. What the heck? There's a lot going on. Okay, charity, huh? You know, this is not the right time to be appearing looking for charity, seeing as how there's sight stealers probably going to be entering the map imminently. So these guys, I give them maybe a 30% chance they're going to be attacked by sight stealers. Either on the way in or the way out. But yeah, I don't mind parting with some herbal medicine, so we should give that to them so they can leave before they get obliterated by invisible things. Oh boy, sight stealer. But, of course, it appeared next to our ghouls, so not a big deal. Alright, good job, Evos, keeping the front of the base secure. All is well. Yeah, I mean, that wasn't too bad. There might be more sight stealers out there, but so far, easy game. Ghouls are just kind of a direct counter to sight stealers, because you can just have them on guard 24/7. Normally, the main issue with sight stealers is that they're invisible, so you'll be like completely off guard and your character will be running off somewhere to like butcher a corpse and then destabilizing. Within 10 days, it will no longer respond to suppression. It will activate if not suppressed. Dispose of the sphere by attempting it to attack a large hostile force. What if there isn't a large hostile force? Did you ever consider that? Because the last time we got a quote-unquote large hostile force, it was only like 5 enemies. That's about the largest raids we've been getting so far, so, what are we supposed to do about that? That seems like a bit of an issue to me. Got another exotic goods trader. Not that we have much money for them, but we'll give it a try either way. Oh, an architect leg. If only we had money to buy that. Even so, that would probably cause us some issues with the sheer value of it. Sticking with bionics is probably more consistent, especially because then we can make more to replace them if needed. But yeah, they don't have anything within our price range, really. So... yeah, it's a good thing that the sight stealers attacked right after the ghouls got home. Ooh, another shard. Perfect. Actually, exactly perfect, because we just got a different shard, which means we can finally deactivate this. Piotr, deactivate the obelisk. Wait, so it just sits here? It isn't gonna be like... we can attack the obelisk to destroy it. Ah! Alright, so I guess it just kind of sits there, and if I am feeling lucky, I can just attack it to get rid of it. But I mean, it's just kind of hanging out, so... as long as it's deactivated, I guess we don't really care. I kind of assumed that by deactivating it, it would be like the, you know, like the golden cube. When you deactivate it, it just kind of shatters into pieces. But evidently no. Oh boy. Another disease. We just got over a disease. Alright, go rest up. Yeah, go tend. That is a horrible tending. Do you have any... you're not even, like, hurt or anything. Why are you so bad at tending? Alright. We're a little, overdue on this, so we should put a vitals monitor down just for better tending in the future. But yeah, I'm a bit concerned about the sphere. With viruses and bugs. It is indeed. Like, we just had all the muscle parasites before, and now we get the flu. It's just a lot of sicknesses. And the sicknesses are also kind of random, but for the most part, they're set in stone. Because, like, I think if you look here... yeah, so average disease frequency is dependent on the biome you're in. So temperate forest is 1.2 a year. Which is still quite often. And it can be more or less depending on just RNG. I don't think biosculptors will help. Maybe growth vats will. And the sphere, the main reason why I'm concerned about it is because it's becoming unstable. And, like, the answer it gave us sounds on paper like an easy enough solution where it's just like, oh yeah, just wait for a big raid and then throw the sphere at them and then it won't come back and it'll leave and then you're done with it. But the issue with that is, what if there isn't a raid within enough time that it becomes unstable and I can't send it to fight anyone else? Will it kill me? Like, how do I get rid of it in that case? What am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to leave? Do I just abandon this base and run off to somewhere else? I don't know. It seems a little worrisome to me. But I'm sure it'll be probably maybe fine. We should maybe just keep it at high destabilization if we can, and then the first raid that comes in of any type, we'll just send it to attack it, and then hide inside our base and hope that it won't find us. I don't know. Because I don't think you can kill the sphere, you know? I think the sphere just kind of does its thing and then leaves. How's your flu doing? Pretty good, actually. It's doing decently. And you got a good tend on it. That's great. Okay. I think I just got a bad, random roll with the sphere. Because I'm pretty sure you're able to hold on to these for a lot longer normally. But it must be, like, set to have a random duration before it becomes unstable, and I just got a low roll on that. Which is very unfortunate. Because that could have been a very useful item to have. Trade with them. 9 revolvers. I mean, nothing here is super great. I mean, Arcite capsules are nice, but we don't even have anything to be using that for, so that's just empty value, really. Yeah, nah, we don't need it. Are you wearing a gas mask? Why are you wearing a gas mask? I guess I'm not gonna question, They can make their own fashion choices. If they think gas masks are fashionable nowadays, then who am I to complain? Growth vats are done. We could start getting orbital stuff so we can someday maybe go and live on an asteroid or something. Because, living on an asteroid, I think, is kind of the end game goal. Oh, no, you don't. No, I don't care what you're trying to sell me. I'm not picking up any more mysterious cargo. Because that's that quest that could be the cube, or the mysterious corpse, or maybe some other events. But I'm not falling for it. Big central, yeah. I mean, the bigger the better, really. I haven't had to upgrade it very much since we got it. Oh, we never did this. It's a good thing I remembered to click on this. We have a poker table in there? Yeah, we have a poker table. with 4 chairs. We have a billiard table, you know, so we can play some pool. We got a bookshelf with 3 books. That's the 3 more than 0. We got a chess table here. We got a horseshoe pin, which doesn't seem like an indoor type game, but you know, we make do. Yeah, we need to remember to do this, because that's why I put down the pews in here. We'll have this guy be the speaker. Oh yeah, and the pews do increase the quality by a decent bit. We would need the leader to increase it more, but eh, should be alright. That was a very short speech, but alright. Alright, good quality. That makes the Empire like us more, which is probably good. Once we're allies with them, we might be able to ask for help against raids and such. Alright, how close is the baby to growing up? Only about 3 more quadrums before they grow up, and that's at 4 times growing speed, so approximately like 70% of a quadrum, which is like 10 days, maybe 11 days. That's pretty soon, relatively. What are you doing out here, Dorna? Get back to the base. I swear, these ghouls are just wandering off in every which direction. Oh, and Morg is pregnant again. Man. You know, those are some lucky rolls. I'm pretty sure you're not able to get pregnant very easily after, like, having just been pregnant. So we need maybe another crib. It doesn't hurt to have another one. The first baby might grow up before the birth, but even so, better to be prepared. And then we'll have plenty of new colonists coming in eventually, once they finally grow up. Yeah, the sphere is definitely a bit concerning. I'm sure it'll be fine, though. I mean, we have to get a raid at some point. Oh yeah, and because it's not getting suppressed, I think the size of its pain sphere is going to increase, or does it just increase the intensity of it? Man, we're taking our sweet time making all these advanced components. I mean, the guy is kind of a very slow individual, but even so, should be able to get around easier and get things done, you would think. Oh, no, we did make all of the components. It's just we started the nuclear stomach, and that took away all of our components, and so we are now making them again. That makes more sense. I was gonna say, I could have sworn we would have made more of those by now. But you know what we should do? We should send a caravan, because it's been long enough that these have restocked. I don't know, we probably have a few things to sell. We'll send Ebos, the horse, and Piotr. And then we can sell just all of our leather, because we probably don't need it anymore. The anti-grain warhead. All of these weapons. It's a lot of weapons. Then the clothing that we can no longer use. Probably the slave straps, because we're not into that kind of thing, I don't think. And all our silver. Alright. That's probably good. Ebos will be fine. He's got hunger reducing things. I'm just loading up the horse with a bunch of leather. Alright, go Ebos. Fulfill your destiny of being a simple, you know, trade caravan guard. But you know, I mean, just because it's your destiny doesn't mean it has to be flashy. And it's just what you're good at. Yeah, it'll be a long time of making all these components before we actually get through all those stone skin glands. But I mean, he is technically getting faster. Because, you know, crafting can get up to 10, which is about 2 right now, before it kind of hits its soft cap. And from here on out, it'll probably not be as good. Oh, we need to get you a gun. Do we have any guns? No, we just sent all our guns away. But we can have you make yourself a gun later. I'm sure that will go well. And they'll be there early tomorrow morning, it seems like. We should try to buy out all of their steel and plasteel and components and such, so we can make more of all of that stuff. And then maybe we should go and attack one of these gold mining sites in order to, you know, take their gold. Still not moving. There they go. You know, I'm glad that it automatically takes the bedrolls with them. Because I would probably usually forget to bring those. Almost there. Go. We don't really have a whole lot to sell, sadly. I kind of wish we had a lot more. But most of our crafting time is going into things we need for other things, and not trading. So let's see, they will buy the anti-grain warhead. That is good news. We don't really need anything of that sort that they're selling. Weak melee damage? No. We need the opposite. We need strong melee damage. The strongest they have. Wait, we could sell Ebos. Probably not. That would be a bit rude. But it is interesting that you can actually sell ghouls as slaves. Kind of expected they'd be something that other colonies probably wouldn't want to accept so, you know, quickly. But we can get like 100 plasteel, a couple hundred steel. Well, we can't actually get a couple hundred steel because we can't hold all that. We can get their components. And then as much steel as it'll let us. That was all of it. That's no good. Okay. That's about all we can get. But that's probably fine. No. Go home. And then we're probably gonna send you out again to maybe attack some gold sites. Because we got some steel and plasteel, but we also need more gold. Well, we only use like 3 gold each time, so honestly we probably don't need that much. We probably have enough already for a lot of advanced components. I mean, trading's pretty easy, all in all. 12 shamblers. Oh, and they're coming from everywhere. Oh, that is not good. If only Ebos was home. Alright, but we have 2 ghouls. And the enemies are approaching from 1, 2, 3, 4 locations. So that is exactly not the same number, but we do have a lot of people that are good at shooting as well. Oh, we'll let Void finish eating over here. There we go. So we'll probably do this one at a time. 2 babies already? Is this the Olympics? I would be a little concerned if you had 2 babies in the Olympics, you know? I feel like that's a little cruel to the babies. But we do have a 3rd baby on the way as well. I was just saying that it's very good RNG that we're continually getting pregnant with more babies. Alright, everyone line up here. Take out those shamblers if and you can. And if you can't, then it'll be up to the ghouls. And Leopard should be staying inside. Just in case he decides not to be, we're just gonna close off all the exits. Because the shamblers shouldn't break in, I don't think. Okay. That went well. Romancing isn't a problem anymore. I mean, it still kind of is a problem. It's just not a problem with certain people. Oh, they're definitely trying to break in. Not very quickly, but... and they're coming from, like, every angle. Okay, you 3 line up here. You guys just attack. Because, yeah, it is still just one couple that is pumping out all the babies. So, in theory, it would be better if we could have more couples, thus making more babies. Don't shoot our ghouls. We need them. You two can go down there. Okay, actually only one of you goes down there. The other one stays over here and helps defend. Because the ghouls are a-coming. And we need some melee. And they're just standing over there to attack our walls without us being able to do anything about it. Okay, kill this one faster, please. Much faster, thank you. That's the one issue with Shamblers, is they're really freaking durable. Alright, how are things going up here, Dorna? Great. How are things over here? Not all that great. They are doing some dabblage. Yeah, repair the wooden wall. It's good that we have that guy on the inside to just heal everything up. Oh, but now they're attacking the door, which is not allowed. Why are you just ignoring the ghoul? Everyone move back. Let the ghoul tank. Ghoul, do something. Thank you, ghoul. Oh, good, and they broke in. Dorna. We need you to come down here. You can go up this way. You can go in the back. You guys can go over here. Dorna, why are you going the longest possible route? Like, come on, man. Alright, Leopard. You need to... Oh, and of course you get slowed by damage. You're not like Andra, sadly. Alright, you need to not be in the crossfire. Can you just climb over the table? You don't... Okay. Thank you. Okay, so you have a little bit of injuries. You're already missing the leg, so that's not a new thing. That should be everything. Yeah, everything else is cleared out. All of you guys can be allowed. You're studying the sphere, alright. So yeah, the only person to get at all seriously hurt was Leopard, which is fine. Because, you know, he was already rather injured, so it's... He'll be alright. Oh, and it was only one medicine to heal all that up. That's good. Could somebody build this door here, please? And, you know, maybe haul the rotting Shambler corpse out of our living room. That would be much appreciated. We need a new dresser for the main room. Yeah, Shambler raids are pretty tough, because the game counts them as being rather wimpy. But they really aren't. Because they can come in large numbers, and then they pose quite a threat. Especially because most of our doors are still wooden, you know. Later on, once we get a more stable base, and, you know, usually I put a big, like, stone wall around bases, but I decided not to do that for this one, because it's just a little too easy, usually, if you just put a giant wall around your base. But we're fine. You know, it was especially an issue because Ebos wasn't here. You know, if we had a third ghoul, then we'd be able to split up our forces more effectively and take them out, but with only 2 ghouls, that just wasn't as feasible. Yeah, swarm attacks are never easy to deal with in any game. You know, that's why the Zerg are so dangerous in StarCraft, is because they just overwhelm you with numbers. But they'll just be put over here to go feed the Harbinger trees. And you are recovering very quickly, which is great for us. Because the sooner you recover, the sooner you can get back to making the stomach. That'll make Andra not eat nearly as much. We don't need the trade quest, so we can get rid of that. But yeah, we should go and check out the old installation, if we can. It's not telling me where it is. Oh, I guess because I need to accept it. But yeah, we could go here. Okay. Yeah, I was about to be ending the stream pretty soon here as well, because, you know, 3-hour stream. Generally, that's around where I stop anywho. But, I'm glad that you were able to be here and see that you are resurrected and stronger than ever. So, yeah, all is well. We had some ups and downs this time, but we did end up with a crafter. Even though it wasn't the same crafter that we had before. So it's pretty nice. So I'll see you next time, and hope you have a good day, Ebos. Let's see, computation. Learning assistants are good. We'll grab that. They're almost back home. So they're moving pretty slow. I guess that's because they're just moving across the desert. Mad rat. Alright, one of you ghouls, get out there. Perfect, okay. Just a little rat event, not a big deal, probably. So yeah, I'll definitely wait for this guy to get back home. And we can accept this quest. Is that the... Yeah, so that's pretty close as well. We'd be able to go there. And if we go there with a ghoul, we can, you know, be able to take out any threat that's there. And then Piotr is pretty good at intellectual, so we should be able to hack, no problem. So we will have that queued up for next time. That'll be a bit of an adventure we go on later. Not today, because that'll probably be a bit of a long-term goal. I wonder how long until we get this. 8 more advanced monolith entities. That is a lot. That is a few. Oh yeah, and then there's the sphere. Yeah. That is a problem. I mean, I want to keep it at pretty high instability, so if there is a suitable raid, I would have sent it against the Shamblers, but they were all too, like, spread out to be efficient. But I don't know if there'll be a actual, like, raid within the next 3 days for this thing to be effective against. So that might be a problem. I don't know what we're gonna be able to do. Maybe I should have just sent it against the Shamblers and called it good enough. Why are you bringing it all the way down? I said suppress it above 70, not keep it super low. I mean, a stallion collapse where? Oh, way up here. They're just unloading stuff out of the stallion while it's just asleep up here. Alright. Fair enough. I guess they didn't sleep much on their way home. But all right, we're gonna call it there, cause you know, the caravan's back, probably a decent spot to end. And before next stream, I will look into what one can do against the Nochiosphere, because I feel a little underprepared going into this situation. I know pretty much nothing about it. So maybe there's a strategy for us to be able to get rid of this without a raid. Because honestly, I do not feel very comfortable leaving it up to the RNG of Randy Random to send us a raid at the correct time to be able to survive the Nochiosphere. Or even, like, if the Nochiosphere goes on a rampage, will it go through doors to get to us? Or will it just kind of go all manhunter for a bit and we just stay indoors until it leaves? I don't know. We'll have to see what... I'll look into it and see what we can do about it, because I don't really want to lose the whole colony to a random sphere that decided to go haywire. You know? That would kind of suck. So I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.